Warm greetings to all. This is Meghan and Harry Tales channel, your one-stop destination for everything related to the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. I am your host, Kelly, bringing you intriguing chronicles of their lives. Today, we delve into a tale that is still making rounds years later. It was late 2017, a momentous occasion, Harry and Meghan's engagement announcement. Picture this, a young couple, madly in love, ready to share their joy with the world, but the event is not entirely their own. The stage is set by Kensington Palace, a place synonymous with tradition and formality. Every detail, from the timing of the announcement to the setting of the interview, was meticulously planned. This was not simply an engagement announcement, it was a carefully crafted performance put together by the palace. Meghan, a newcomer to the royal scene, found herself at the centre of this spectacle. She was no stranger to the limelight, having spent years in front of the camera as an actress. Yet this was a different beast entirely. This was not a script she could improvise or a character she could shape. She was playing the role of Meghan, the future Duchess of Sussex, a role defined not by her, but by the palace. She felt managed, a puppet on strings, her words and actions dictated by the powers that be. The palace, it seemed, was more interested in maintaining its image than in allowing Meghan and Harry to share their authentic selves. Meghan followed the rules, the unwritten codes of conduct that govern the lives of those in the royal spotlight. These rules, however, seemed to be made specifically for her, a unique set of guidelines that felt restrictive and limiting. Despite feeling cornered, she put on a brave face, adhering to the script and playing her part with grace and poise. This was not just an engagement announcement, it was a testament to Meghan's resilience and determination. She navigated the labyrinth of royal protocol, not with resentment, but with a sense of duty and respect for the institution she was about to join. In the face of adversity, Meghan remained steadfast, her unwavering resolve a beacon of strength. Her journey was far from easy, yet she persevered, guided by her love for Harry and her commitment to their shared future. Despite all the obstacles, Meghan followed the rules that seemed to have been set up specifically for her. And in doing so, she showed us all what it means to be a modern royal, a woman of substance, strength and sheer determination. Meghan's engagement interview with the BBC, a moment she described as an orchestrated reality show. This pivotal moment in her life was not merely an announcement of her love, but it was a highly controlled event, a spectacle designed with a specific narrative in mind. Meghan's experience during this interview was far from what one might expect. The palace, the very institution that should have supported her, was instead stage managing her every word. She was not allowed to freely express her joy, her hopes, her dreams for the future she was about to embark on with Prince Harry. Instead, she was given a script, a predefined narrative she was expected to follow. Imagine the pressure of such a situation. Meghan, a woman who had always championed the freedom of expression and individuality, was suddenly thrust into a world where her words were not her own. She was expected to stick to a script that was not written by her, nor did it reflect her true feelings. It was a script designed by the palace, a script that was intended to portray a particular image of her to the public. This was not just an engagement interview, it was an orchestrated reality show, a performance where Meghan was expected to play a role that was not her own. She was not allowed to tell her own story, to share her own experiences. Instead, she was given a script that was filled with talking points and restrictions. This was a far cry from the freedom of expression one might expect. Meghan, a woman who had always been vocal and outspoken, was silenced by the very institution that should have been her support system. She was not allowed to be her own person, to be the woman she truly was. Instead, she was forced to play a role, to be a character in an orchestrated reality show. This was Meghan's reality during her engagement interview with the BBC. A moment that should have been filled with joy and excitement was instead filled with restrictions and control. The palace had a script, and Meghan was expected to stick to it, a far cry from the freedom of expression one might expect. Fast forward to today, and Michelle Hussein, the interviewer from the BBC, is still taking issue with Meghan's remarks. Now, you may be wondering, why all this fuss about a years-old interview? Well, dear listeners, it seems that some people just can't let go. Michelle Hussein, despite being a seasoned journalist, seems to have missed the crux of Meghan's comments. She seems unable to grasp why Meghan felt stage-managed during the engagement interview. But let's break it down. Meghan wasn't just speaking to Hussein that day. She was speaking to the world under the watchful eye of the palace. The palace had a narrative to sell, and Meghan was expected to stick to the script, a script that she felt didn't allow her to tell her own story. So, when Meghan says the interview felt like an orchestrated reality show, she's not just talking about Hussein's interviewing style or the BBC's production values. She's talking about the entire situation, the whole royal machinery that was shaping her public image in a way that she didn't necessarily agree with. But instead of acknowledging this, Hussein has chosen to take offence. And she's not alone. The palace too is still peddling lies about that interview. They're saying Meghan complained that Hussein wasn't empathetic enough, wasn't warm enough. They're even suggesting that Meghan wanted Oprah Winfrey, the Queen of American talk shows, to conduct the interview. These lies, these attempts to discredit Meghan, are still being churned out 7 years later. It's almost as if they're trying to rewrite history to paint Meghan as the villain of their piece. But the truth is, Meghan was just a woman trying to navigate a new life under intense public scrutiny. Years later, the palace continues to spread falsehoods, proving that Meghan still lives rent-free in their minds. The question is, why can't they let it go? Why does Meghan's version of events still threaten them so much? But that, dear listeners, is a discussion for another day. So, what does this all mean for Meghan, Harry and the British royal establishment? Well, it's clear that the echoes of that engagement interview and the subsequent fallout are still reverberating through the halls of the palace. The lies spun by the establishment, the media's relentless pursuit of a narrative that suited their agenda, and the unfathomable pressure placed on Meghan have left an indelible mark. Meghan and Harry have since stepped back from their royal duties, seeking to carve out a life for themselves away from the intrusive glare of the tabloid press. They've established a new home, started their own ventures, and are working tirelessly to use their platform for good. Yet despite the physical distance, the spectre of their royal past continues to cast a long shadow. The British royal establishment, on the other hand, seems to be stuck in a time loop. Rather than learning from their mistakes and striving for change, they continue to perpetuate the same tired narratives. The palace insiders, the media, they're all still singing from the same hymn sheet, churning out the same old stories, the same old lies. And yet, here's the thing. Despite the relentless character assassination, despite the constant vilification, Meghan's influence remains undeniable. Her strength, her resilience, her refusal to be silenced, these are the qualities that resonate with people across the globe. They see through the smokescreen, they recognise the injustice, and they stand with Meghan. In a strange twist of fate, the very tactics employed to undermine Meghan have only served to amplify her voice. Every lie, every smear campaign, every attempt to tarnish her character has only strengthened the resolve of those who support her. The palace may have hoped to erase Meghan's influence, to diminish her impact, but the truth is, they've only succeeded in making it more potent. Even after all this time, Meghan's presence is still felt, her influence undeniable. And that, my friends, is a testament to the power of truth, the power of resilience, and the power of a woman who refuses to be silenced. And that, my friends, was a tale from the annals of Harry and Meghan's journey. A story of resilience, courage, and standing up for what's right, even when it means facing a barrage of criticism. This tale has shown us that even in the face of constant scrutiny and adversity, Meghan and Harry have remained true to themselves and their values. It's a testament to their strength that 7 years on they continue to inspire and captivate audiences around the world. Yet, it's equally astonishing that there are still those who choose to distort their narrative, to weave a tale of their own steeped in untruths and baseless criticism. The engagement interview, a moment that should have been joyous and celebratory, was instead shrouded in manipulation and control. Meghan and Harry were denied the opportunity to share their own narrative, their own truth. Instead, their voices were stifled, their story moulded to fit a script that was not their own. But let's not forget, despite these challenges, they've forged a path of their own. They've broken free from the constraints of an institution that sought to silence them, stepping into a new chapter where they can finally be true to themselves. And this, dear friends, is why we continue to share their stories, to shed light on the truth, to celebrate their journey, and to inspire others with their resilience and determination. Thank you for joining me today. Show your love for Harry and Meghan by subscribing to our channel, sharing this video, and leaving a comment. Until next time, this is your loyal host Kelly, signing off.